Migration is not just a chapter in Latin American history, it is the story. From colonization to today's refugee flows, migration has continuously shaped the region's people, politics, and power structures. But what began with conquest and exclusion has evolved into a new crisis of displacement, inequality, and resistance. During colonization, millions of Spaniards and Portuguese crossed the Atlantic, decimating indigenous populations and imposing European rule. At the same time, over 12 million Africans were forcibly brought to the Americas, more than a half of them to Latin America, and this was a mass enslavement, not a voluntary migration at all. In the 19th century, waves of European migrants, called Italians, Germans, or Spaniards, were welcomed to countries like Argentina, Brazil, and integrated into political systems. Presidents like Carlos Menem in Argentina or Alberto Fujimori in Peru came from European immigrant families, seen as tools of modernization, but this openness was racialized. Whiteness meant access. Indigenous and Afro-descendant communities remained marginalized. Today, migration flows have reversed. Millions are fleeing Venezuela due to economic collapse worsened by U.S. sanctions. Central Americans are escaping poverty, gang violence, and corruption, legacies of civil war and foreign intervention. These are not isolated migrations, they reflect a structural collapse. Many never reach the US. They're stuck in transit countries like Costa Rica, Guatemala, or Mexico, often criminalized or denied asylum. U.S. border policies now extend south, outsourcing enforcement to Latin American states. And Latin Americans today are also moving within the region. Venezuelans in Colombia, Haitians in Chile, Nicaraguans in Costa Rica, and even though some countries show generosity, tensions are rising. Migrants are facing racism, overcrowded services, and backlash. Urban to urban migration is also transforming cities like Mexico City, creating city regions as residents flee unaffordable centers of peripheral zones. From colonial conquest to modern displacement, migration in Latin America has always revealed who has power and who is forced to move or to adapt. It began as a top-down project of empire, but today it reflects grassroots resistance to economic and political failure. It's important to understand Latin America. Today, we must see that migration is not a crisis, but is a history in motion, shaped by centuries of inequality and resilience, and the pursuit of dignity.